In this video, thanks to a Zen story full of wisdom, we will talk about the importance for your health of a specific food, sauerkraut. Yes, you read it right, sauerkraut. A humble food, perhaps underestimated, but that hides an extraordinary power for our well-being. Imagine being able to prevent illnesses like the flu and colds with a stronger immune system. Imagine feeling more energetic, with impeccable digestion and a more stable mood. What if we told you that all this is possible simply by introducing a particular food into your diet? A food that traditional Chinese-Japanese medicine has known and used for thousands of years for its healing properties. Well, in this video we will reveal to you how sauerkraut, thanks to its particular fermentation, can become a real ally for your health, helping you strengthen your immune system, improve digestion, reduce inflammation, and even prevent more serious diseases. And get ready, because if you think sauerkraut is just a sour side dish, and you think probiotics are only found in expensive supplements, you're going to be wrong. After hearing this story, you'll change your mind completely. So, stay until the end of the video because you will discover how to prepare this food so that it becomes as powerful as a medicine, following step by step the traditional recipe revealed by the monk protagonist of this story. We assure you that you will be surprised by the simplicity and effectiveness of this ancient method of preparation. But before continuing, if you are not one of us yet, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to stay updated when we publish new content for your spiritual growth. In the dim light of Ryonji Temple, nestled in the mountains of Kyoto, lived the wise old monk named Eiji. His face was lined with wrinkles that told stories of wisdom and peace, and his eyes shone with a gentle light that welcomed all who sought his guidance. Pilgrims came from every corner of Japan, attracted by his reputation as a holy man and a profound connoisseur of the secrets of nature. One day, a group of pilgrims, tired and weary from the long journey, knocked on the doors of the temple. Eiji welcomed them with a benevolent smile and invited them to sit in the garden, where a cherry tree in bloom spread a sweet and delicate scent. "You have come from far away," he said in a calm and reassuring voice. "What can I do for you?" A young pilgrim, his voice trembling, replied, "Venerable Eiji, we are here to learn. We feel lost and confused in this modern world with its illnesses and worries. We seek a path to health and inner peace." Eiji nodded in understanding. "The wisdom you seek is closer than you think," he said. "It lies in a humble but extraordinary food that has been prized for its healing properties for millennia, sauerkraut." The pilgrims exchanged puzzled glances. "Sauerkraut," a woman asked in a small voice. "How can a simple food like fermented cabbage help us find health and peace?" Eiji smiled. "Sauerkraut is not just food, it is an elixir of life, a gift from nature that holds immense power. Let me tell you its story." And so, under the shade of the cherry tree, Eiji began his tale. Since ancient times, man has sought ways to preserve food and improve its properties. Ancient Chinese medical texts tell of fermentation processes used to preserve food and cure the sick. And sauerkraut, born from the fermentation of cabbage, is a perfect example of this age-old wisdom. Cabbage, in and of itself, is a nutrient-dense vegetable, Eiji continued. But it's through fermentation that its potency is amplified, turning it into a true superfood. When cabbage ferments, the microorganisms within it digest the simple sugars, creating an ideal environment for the proliferation of beneficial probiotics, those microorganisms that populate our intestines and are essential to our health. "Think about this," Eiji said, his expression intense. "Our intestines are home to approximately 38 trillion microorganisms, more than the total number of human cells in our bodies. These microorganisms are our allies. They help us digest food, absorb nutrients, and defend us from disease. Sauerkraut, with its wealth of probiotics, nourishes and strengthens this precious internal community of ours. But the magic of sauerkraut doesn't end there, IG continued. Thanks to fermentation, sauerkraut becomes rich in vitamin C, iron, and vitamin K2, a nutrient essential for bone and heart health. Scientific studies have shown that sauerkraut can help boost the immune system, reduce inflammation, improve digestion, manage weight, reduce stress, improve brain health, and even reduce the risk of cancer. An elderly pilgrim who had been silent until then asked, "But how can sauerkraut have such a profound impact on our health?" IG replied, "Imagine your intestines as a garden. If the garden is well tended, with fertile soil and a variety of lush plants, it will thrive and be resistant to disease. Likewise, an intestine populated by a healthy and diverse bacterial flora will be able to perform its functions at its best, protecting us from diseases and ensuring our well-being." Sauerkraut, with its wealth of different probiotics, acts as a fertilizer for our internal garden, creating a favorable environment for the growth of good bacteria and limiting the proliferation of harmful ones. This balance is essential for our health, both physical and mental. In fact, numerous studies have shown that there is a direct connection between the gut and the brain. A healthy gut contributes to a healthy brain, and vice versa. IG paused, looking at the attentive faces of the pilgrims. "Now," he said, "I will teach you how to prepare sauerkraut so that it will be a true medicine for your body and mind." "The ingredients are simple," AG began. "You'll need cabbage, preferably organic, raw sea salt, and a glass jar with an airtight seal. Avoid jars with metal lids, which can rust from the acidity of the fermentation. First step," IG said, "wash the cabbage thoroughly and cut it into thin strips. You can use a sharp knife or, if you prefer, a tool like a potato peeler, which will allow you to obtain more uniform strips. Once cut, weigh the cabbage. For every kilogram of cabbage, you will need about 20 grams of salt. The amount of salt is important because the right salt concentration promotes fermentation and prevents the growth of unwanted bacteria. Second step," Daiji continued, "mix the cabbage with the salt in a large bowl. You can do this with your hands, making sure you wash them well, or with a wooden spoon. Massage the cabbage with the salt for a few minutes until it begins to release its liquid. Step 3, IG said, transfer the cabbage to the glass jar, pressing it down well with your hands or a wooden pestle to remove the air. Make sure the cabbage is completely immersed in its liquid. If necessary, add a little salt water to completely cover the cabbage. The absence of air is essential for proper fermentation. Step 4, Daiji continued, close the jar tightly and store it in a dark, cool place with a temperature between 20 and 25 degrees Celsius. This is when the fermentation magic begins. The lactic acid bacteria in the cabbage will begin to ferment the sugars, producing lactic acid, which gives the sauerkraut its characteristic sour flavor. Every 7 days or so, Daiji explained, check the fermentation process. You may see a little mold forming on the surface. Don't worry, that's normal. Gently remove it with a spoon and make sure the cabbage stays submerged in the liquid at all times. After 3 to 4 weeks, IG said the sauerkraut will be ready. Open the jar and smell it. It should smell pleasantly sour. Taste the sauerkraut. If you like the flavor, it is ready to eat. If you prefer a stronger flavor, you can let it ferment for a few more days. Remember, IG concluded, sauerkraut is a living food. It is best to eat it raw or at room temperature to best preserve its precious probiotics. You can add it to your salads, sandwiches, or simply enjoy it as a side dish. Finally, Daiji said with a smile, remember that making sauerkraut is an act of love and care for yourself. As you prepare it, think about the benefits it will bring to your body and mind. Be present in the moment, enjoying the process and the wisdom that lies in this ancient method of preservation. The pilgrims, enlightened by Aiji's words, felt filled with a deep sense of gratitude. They had found not only an answer to their questions, but also a way to a healthier and more conscious life. Over the next few days, the pilgrims learned the art of making sauerkraut under Aiji's patient guidance. They learned to choose the best cabbage, cut it carefully, measure the salt precisely, and carefully follow the fermentation process. And slowly, over time, they understood how powerful this precious food really was.